Are you my daddy?
Are you my mummy?
Obvious reference.
Inescapably obvious references.
Of course.
Also, it's been a few episodes since we've seen Amethyst and Garnet and Pearl. It's been, a few episodes very focused on human drama. But when they bring back the gem drama, boy howdy.
They certainly did. In this episode, Steven is waiting for a package from Jamie, but he doesn't seem to be showing up. So Amethyst gets him to get some donuts in the meanwhile. However, the big donut is closed and Sour Cream is there, looking for Onion, who's been missing for a couple of days. Steven also finds Barbara, who's looking for Sadie, who didn't come home last night. Steven and Barbara start to put the pieces together that Jamie might also be missing, and decide to start looking for all of them. But Steven is fairly quickly interrupted by a new gem, Aquamarine, asking if he's her daddy. He says he isn't, and she quickly flies away on water wings. The crystal gems and Connie draw a picture based off her description, and they decide to start looking around. Steven and Connie headed to the woods where they find the gem again. At first, she seems friendly, but when the gem realizes she's Connie, she calls Topaz, a huge gem that is carrying the missing humans inside of her. Connie is trapped by Topaz turning into two and reforming around her, and after Aquamarine knocks Steven around with her power, they leave to look for Aquamarine's dad, apparently. And that's the episode. Yay.
This is a trip and a half. It starts out cute. It's cute
Yes.
to see Amethyst hanging out, drinking beans. Garnet and Pearl's crab castle is the cutest shit.
We're building a tiny house for crabs!
And the crabs are so happy with it. It's cute.
Before anything else, am I the one who's noticed that Pearl has just become very loud as a character?
I think she's also noticeably loosened up over the course of this season.
Yeah, but at the same time, it feels like they always have her yelling something.
I like it. It's sweet. I want to know if she's still calling that girl she met at the party.
She better be.
Like,
I
that
hope
better
so.
be why she's so cheerful. It's because, she's got a girlfriend and they natter on the phone and it makes her happy.
Yes.
I want all these characters to be happy. And also, Steven frantically waiting on his distinguished young man jeans, khakis.
The distinguished boy.
Yeah. I mean, I know that feel of waiting on a package, because, I got a lot of stuff delivered just now, and I always want it to come before I have to leave for work, because if I miss it, it's forever until I can go to the depot and get it. Also, for some reason, packages always come on a way at work, but the fucking Jehovah's Witnesses can make it in the morning. I have Japanese Jehovah's Witnesses who keep turning up to ask why I don't believe in God. Next, I'm gonna buy a DVD of Batman v Superman just to give them the next time they ask why I don't believe in God.
Well, this discussion got off the rails quickly.
Point is, very relatable feel Steven's having waiting for his package. And, and then he goes to get... I also want to know the story behind Steven explaining that he knows from experience that Big Donut does not accept magic beans as currency.
Yes. The reason I love that line is because it's never going to be explained.
There was a story there that we are never going to know.
Yes. There were two lines. The two lines that I just loved. The first, which is just funnier the more I think about it, is when Steven is asking if Sour Cream looked for Onion in all the places he might be. It was like, his secret room in your house? Sour Cream's like, his office. That's amazing. His office.
Yeah. I think it's also...
That's Onion's office.
Yeah. Whatever. I also like how in this conversation there were a lot of subtle touches to the fact that Sour Cream and Onion are actually really close as brothers, which is not a relationship we've seen on screen much, But Sour Cream knows immediately what Steven talked about, all of Onion's secret places. He knows more about Onion's secret room than Steven does. He knows all. And he's completely cash about all of it. It's like, yeah, it's just my weird tiny brother. I love him. I'm worried about him. Have you seen him? You know. So they did a nice, subtle job of showing us a relationship that we haven't really seen before, but making it immediately believable that they're actually quite close as brothers.
I don't even know why I find it so funny that it's his office. It actually just cracks me up. It's his office. Of all the things in the world, it is his office.
I'm just gonna accept that because it's great.
The other best line from Garnet, whenever drawing the picture of Aquamarine, and Garnet, you just drew yourself. I like me. What does that have to do with anything? It's just amazing.
My response to that was just, yeah, me too.
She just drew herself.
Oh, their art styles too. Connie has such a cute art style. Pearl is such a weeb. And Amethyst is just like, I was trying to draw a dragon. Also, I have to say, the second we find out later she's an Aquamarine. The second we saw Aquamarine, I'm like, she's adorable! Oh my god, how evil is she?
Yeah.
The answer is ultimately very. Before we go to Aquamarine and Topaz, I do want to say there was one joke in the episode that really missed the mark for me personally. It's the bit when, he's talking to Sadie's mum, and he asks her how she has keys into the big donut, and she's like, what kind of mother would I be if I didn't make a copy of all my daughter's keys? And it was played for laughs, but the thing is, they haven't spent a lot of time on Sadie's relationship with her mother. It is clear that Sadie's mother interferes in her life more than Sadie would like, and can be a bit controlling. They do it to a mild degree in this show. I do know people in real life with parents who have been incredibly, creepily invasive and controlling, including, I do actually know one guy whose parents stole his keys and made copies without him knowing when he was visiting home, mainly because he wanted to see his little brothers. He does not have a good relationship with his parents. So they stole and made copies of the keys, and used to, would just let themselves into his flat without telling him they were coming or anything. Sometimes they'd go in when he wasn't there. And they were really creepy, controlling, stalkery people. So I think, it's probably funny if you don't know those kind of people, but having actually, one time I went, a bunch of us were hanging out, we were going back to his flat after class to just work on some stuff, and his parents were there, and he didn't know his parents were going to be there, and they wanted to know who we all were, and how he knew us all, and where we all lived. They gave us all the absolute third degree, and it was very, very creepy, and very unsettling.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel that's something that probably shouldn't be played for laughs, because those people exist, and they're so creepy. They have gone out of their way in the previous episode with Sadie and her mom to point out that being that controlling is really bad for a person. But yeah. Anyway, so I do feel like they kind of went backwards then playing that behavior for laughs. But it was just a quick moment, and then they really build up the different kind of creepiness very well, with slowly realizing that Onion, Lars, Sadie, and Jamie have been abducted.
Yeah.
And then running around the boardwalk looking for them. Because actually, by and large, Beach City, for, city, is quite an empty town with a very low population.
Yes, it really is.
So not a lot of people have to go missing before it starts feeling eerily empty. I also love how after he meets Aquamarine for the first time, she's like, are you my dad? And he's like, no, I'm not. So she just flies off. And Steven yells, wait! Don't leave me with another enigma!
Yeah.
Poor boy's so sick of this shit.
Yes. There were a few more jokes I liked before the things got serious. The one videotape of a movie that was in the big donut that they saw. It was Dream Ghost. It looked interesting. Oh yeah, by the way, random returning appearance is that goddamn punching machine arcade game. That voice when he goes to the arcade and he's just like, somebody punch me, please. He sounded so desperate. He's been abandoned. No one wants to punch him anymore.
Aww. There's not a lot of people on to do the punching, to be fair.
I liked when Connie, like had, crumbled up a leaf, and, the wind picked it up, it's just like, yep, there's wind. Brilliant.
Oh, that was great.
I loved how her way to tell Aquamarine that she'll catch her is to say, my body will break your fall. It makes it sound so much more painful than it would be.
Oh, I know. It's just like... Poor Connie.
But yeah, then it becomes serious and Connie is kidnapped along with all the other humans.
I mean, also, I have to say, going back from that, when they decide to start searching for Aquamarine, I was genuinely interested with the prospect that maybe she's a half-gen like Steven, that could potentially exist. She's not. But also, when Garnet says, we should split up, and Steven's so excited goes, Ruby and Sapphire! No, I mean split up into teams.
I like how he says, okay, Garnet will go with herself.
Yeah.
And it's especially funny because you think they would see it said in such a way where Garnet would be last to be mentioned, which is why you would have to explain that she goes with herself. But no, Steven just immediately goes to that.
Yeah, I mean, Garnet said herself, she's never alone.
Yep.
Also, and I love the conversation of Forrest right before Aquamarine turns up again when Steven is so upset on behalf of everyone who's worried about their missing loved ones. And Connie is the best supportive friend, she really is. And then Aquamarine turns up and she's like, are you my dad? No, I'm not your dad. And it's when she goes, not your dad, my dad. I'm like, she thinks my dad is a name? Even before she says found a Connie, and you realise, oh god, that's right, these are gems that don't understand the concept of being an individual.
It's true.
They think humans come in variations like gems. It isn't until Aquamarine starts saying more than a few sentences at the time that I realise she has a tiny English accent. Because as we all know, that having an English accent is shorthand for evil.
Yes. Yeah, I'll have more to say about them in the next episode when things happen, but I did just think of a terrible, terrible idea that if they did divide the humans like they do gems, name them that way, and so they did it by ethnicity. It's like, get the Asian!
Uh-oh.
It would just become awful and terrible.
Yeah, that would get real racist real fast, so I'm glad they are not going that way. And then, when Topaz turns up, I'm like, she's huge, what the fuck? It's like, oh, it's because she's a fusion of two Topazes that kidney people by fusing around them. What?
That was actually kind of brilliant.
Everything about that scene was so unsettling.
Yes.
Oh.
But yeah, I have a lot more to say about them in the next episode, and I'm sure we have plenty to say about the next episode in particular.
Oh, I have so much to say about the next episode.
Yeah.